One of the easiest tax strategies that business owners and real estate investors can use to save on taxes is the home office deduction. But it is one of the most underutilized tax strategies that is used. And when I talk to business owners or investors and ask them why they don't utilize it, they have a number of reasons. I hear so many different explanations for reasons why they don't use it. And what I always try to explain to them is that it is such a benefit to them. So in this video, I'm going to talk about some myths or some outright lies that you may have heard from others for a reason why you should not be utilizing the home office tax deduction. My name is Keisha Rondeno. I am a real estate and business CPA and tax strategist, and I teach you how to save on taxes so you can keep more of the money you make and build wealth in your business and your investments. So let's get to it. So the first myth that business owners will share with me for why they are not using the home office tax deduction is because they have heard that they need to be a full-time business owner. And so that is not correct. The IRS says that if you operate a business, whether it is full-time or whether it is part-time, you are allowed to use your home in order to operate that business. That is in a tax code. It is in section 280A, and it states specifically that you can use your home in order to operate your business. It does not have to be a full-time business. It can absolutely be a part-time business that you may operate in addition to your W-2 position. So it may be a side hustle, or you may be a portion of the year. Either way, it does not have to be your sole source of income. It does not have to be your only business that you are operating in its entirety in order to utilize the home office deduction. So if anybody indicates that you have to be a full-time business owner, you need to let them know that that is not correct. The second myth that I hear from taxpayers of why they do not utilize the home office deduction is because their CPA has told them that it is going to trigger an audit. That is further from the truth. So audits can take place because one, it is automatically generated through the IRS, or two, because there may be questions on information that was provided to the IRS from your tax filing. Either way, it's not the fact of, hey, you're utilizing the home office tax deduction that you want to get audited. Now, you may get questioned about the information that is included in that home office tax deduction. So the information that you report with it, whether it's the square footage, whether it's the expenses that are utilized in your home for the home office. Yes, the IRS may have questions about that, but utilizing the home office tax deduction does not just outright generate an audit. And in the event that you are questioned about the information that is included in the tax filing, then you should be able to produce that information. When you're going through an audit or when you're questioned about that information, it is not to say that, okay, you did something wrong. The IRS just wants to ensure that the information that you have reported to them is accurate. So your job, if they ever ask you about the information, is to have it readily available for them. But claiming the home office tax deduction is not going to trigger an audit in any way. The third myth that I hear of why taxpayers do not take the home office tax deduction is that it is too complicated to document. Let's talk about this for a second. Now, when taking this deduction, you do have to have documentation, and there may be a process in the beginning that you use in order to gather that information or in order to track that information. But once you put that process in place, it is going to be ongoing from year to year. So yes, there may be some initial setup or some initial process that you have to put in place to keep track of what you may be paying in mortgage interest, or what you're paying in rent, what your utilities are, what your repairs and maintenance is for your home. Yes, have a method of keeping track of that. But once you put that method in place, you can utilize it ongoing from year to year. So don't let the fact of thinking that it is too complicated to document hold you back from actually utilizing this tax strategy. The fourth myth that I hear of why taxpayers do not take the home office tax deduction is because they're under the impression that they have to utilize an entire room of their residence in order to take the deduction. So that is further from the truth. The IRS states that you do have to have a space that is completely dedicated to your business, but it does not have to be an entire room. So if you have an office and you may have a spouse that utilizes that office for work, then you obviously can't dedicate that one space to your business. But what you can do is take a portion of the office space. You can take a portion of another room and dedicate it specifically for your business. The IRS does not say that your business has to have its own room. As long as this space is completely dedicated to your business, then you can utilize that information for the home office tax deduction. Now, it can't be a living room, and so you can't utilize a common space and say, oh, this is used completely for my business, because it is a common space. So it's things such as a kitchen or the living room or maybe a den area. No, that entire room may not be used for your business, but you can take, let's say, 50 feet of that and dedicate it to having that area for operating a business, whether it's setting up your computer with a desk, whether you have a design studio and you have tables set up for where you're doing your designing. As long as it's a dedicated space for your business, then you are able to utilize the home office tax deduction. And the fifth myth that I hear of why business owners do not use the home office tax deduction is because they say that it doesn't help out much financially. Well, truth of the matter is that if you are operating a business and you are generating money from it, you're going to be paying taxes on that. And so you want to have as many strategies in place in order to minimize what you're paying on taxes. And if you can do that through the home office tax deduction, then you need to utilize that. Whether it's going to save you $5, $10, $20, $100, $1,000, $1,500, you need to utilize it, because that is money that you can keep in your pocket instead of paying to the IRS. So the myth of it does not help you financially, truth is, any money that you are not giving out frivolously, that is always going to be a benefit to you. Nobody wants to just throw money around and waste money. That is how you delay of building wealth within your business and within your investment. So you need to utilize any strategy that's out there, no matter how big or small, if it is going to help you pay the IRS less and keep more of that in your pocket. And so utilizing the home office tax deduction can be a great tax strategy for you as a business owner. Just make sure that you are utilizing it correctly, and you will have no problems when it comes to the IRS. I hope this video has been helpful for you. Make sure that you like and you subscribe. If you have any questions about the home office tax deduction or want any videos on any other topics, make sure you leave it below. I would love to hear from you, and check out the description box below where I have resources that can help you save on taxes and grow your business and your investments. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.